Welcome to the Crystalline Grid tutorial sponsored by the Metaphysical Corner at EnterTheEarth.com. If you want to find out more information, you can see the blog article from January 2012 under stacierocks.blogspot.com. Crystalline grids are arrangements that you make with the stones that basically use sacred geometry so that it creates an energetic field in the environment in which you set it up, and it's based on the flower of life geometry. But for the purposes of crystalline grids, we work with a subset of the flower of life called the seed of life. And what I like to do is I add activation lines where you know where you put the stones. And this is one that I created in 2000 that I still like it, but we've developed a new one with the help of Caro, the web goddess, that has symbols here that help you figure out where to put the stones. You can download this for free here, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. The first placement to set it up are these complete circles. The center stone obviously goes in the center, and these are beautiful rose quartz from Madagascar, and it's essentially put in a Star of David position. This is a basic grid, also known as a Reiki grid. But you can continue to add elements to the grid. In this case, we're going with labradorite, also from Madagascar, and each grid is sort of like creating a song. If you have a specific energetic goal that you'd like to reach, what you can do is from all of the different stones that you might be able to use, you can create something unique and wonderful from the different stones that you add. Here I have Amazonite, also from Madagascar. We specialize in beautiful stones from Madagascar at Enter the Earth, and they are all hot and zoomy. This is Amazonite. And then we have another grid placement here, the triangles. And I love rubies. These are nice, delicious rubies. I love rubies in a grid because they're between red and purple, and they have a very good grounding quality to them, so I like them in almost any grid, and it's good to have at least one grounding element in a grid. And then we have the last placement here are these open circles, and they have to be little stones, so this is a good place to put your little stones, but you don't always have to use every single position you see here. If you want to just 3 different stones, you could do a grid with just 3 stones, or if you just wanted a rose quartz grid, if you don't know what else to put up, use rose quartz. Rose quartz does everything. And these little guys here are apatite, and those are also from Madagascar, so this is basically an all Madagascar grid. Now, we have all of the placements set up. Now it's time to activate it, and you can activate a crystal grid. My favorite is a selenite wand because it's very good at channeling light energy. You can use a crystal point. You could even use your finger if you channel energy and you're confident enough that you could do that. When I use the selenite wand, I gently place it against my palm, because the palm is basically a minor chakra, and that's the light source. So when you activate a grid, it is like drawing a daisy, but I use the straight lines because the grid template has the straight lines. So you go up, back, over in a clockwise direction. I usually go 3 times around, and if I lose count, I might go 4 or 5 times around. Just depends, but I always start at the bottom because this way I know when to stop at least. Okay, and I'm going to go slow for a second. And what you're doing is you're imagining a line of light connecting all of these stones together so that they're working in a system instead of as individual stones. And this is what creates the energy field. And when I get to the end, I like to really put my intention into it, and I say, you are activated, and I spin it kind of like a top. When this happens, it comes together and it creates both a vortex and then it spans out into the room. With the rough rocks make very nice grids. So a nice rough rock at the center stone is always nice, but there are other things you can do in the center stone as well. And I'm going to show you. Here we have a beautiful sphere, also from Madagascar, and we could reactivate that, and the spheres make a very wide energy field, and it's very harmonious and soft. but it's very wide, so it would encompass likely your entire house, but it would be a softer, more gentle energy field. Then you have the option of putting a cluster, and in this case, I'm using a different stone in the center, which is also possible. It adds another layer, another note to your song, so to speak. This is a beautiful celestite cluster from Madagascar, and that's sort of like a disco ball in the center, kind of choo, 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 choo. And so those are very nice to have. And then another option is that you can put a point in the center. And when you have a point in the center, the vortex of the grid is really much tighter. The energy field is smaller, but it's a little stronger. So this is very good to use underneath a massage table or next to a bed, or like on a bedstand, or under a bed, or under a chair. And that's really fun because I call that the sit and spin. You just basically put that central vortex and you line it right up with your core pillar of light. And boy, that's a lot of fun. Anyway, so this is a crystalline grid.